Welcome in. Welcome in. That is the third intro of Baroque for Sega Saturn, and I am Western Style Guy. And the reason I'm showing you the third intro is because I have a strong feeling. I am feeling quite strong and confident heading into the Nerve Tower here, floor 17. So the third intro, I held off on showing it, not necessarily because it's, you know, like story spoilers or anything, but because it kinda, I think, shows a lot of late game enemies in it. And though I know the names of the enemies and what they look like because, you know, I had to do a little bit of research for the Let's Play, I figured that would make for a more elegant viewing situation to have that only be shown here towards the end. Crypt Angel. So these guys, I realize now, the Aries, they're literally always asleep. They always spawn in asleep. I suppose the hung ones kinda do as well, but the hung ones are maybe a little bit more alert. These guys sleep through most of the day, attack very fiercely, and you weren't here like until a minute ago, dude. They attack very fiercely and they're quite easy to circle strafe. Not as much in the corridor like that. I suppose I could have used one of my tools. But hit points are a tool as well. If you've ever played a grappler in a fighting game, you are aware that hit points are a tool and a resource to be spent. A rotten genius. Something that I kind of didn't really or forgot to touch on and also fumbled last session. My uncomfortable coat, I completely forgot that this was the same coat on which I had infused a stomachache preventing worm. I swapped it out to a paralysis preventing worm somewhere around floor 12. And I gotta say, I mean, paralysis is scary. Paralysis is certainly scary, but I kind of, in retrospect, maybe would have preferred the stomach ache prevention. And these are completely new floors, and I'm not entirely sure if I have anything to. Oh, you're a new guy. I don't see you. I have a suspicion of who you are, but let me wait for the darkness to clear until I call it. Either way, it's a projectile type of guy, so I don't think fighting him in a corridor like that isn't necessarily wise. So I'm not entirely sure what my mission is at this point, aside from... do I just keep descending? So I still should do full clears of floors. So, okay, this is the guy I thought it would be. You will never guess what his name is. You can probably guess that he's the Chariot. But that grotesque's name is Galgal Tank Joe. I'm not sure why he's named like a Mega Man enemy. But he is. And as you saw there, he's kinda deeply trivial to circle strafe. The animation, because he has to put his cannon on every single time. If you don't fight him in the corridor like this, I really feel like he's free experience. Obviously, probably not always just gonna fight him in an open court or in an open room like that. For example, right here. He does hurt a lot is the thing. Okay. What should I do? Should I do anything? Is this like... I'll just non-experience bone. Okay, getting re-infested with darkness. Re-afflicted, rather. Not my favorite. My defenses and my offenses are so stacked, I gotta be honest. I'll drop you for now, because the amount of damage I'm taking from these guys right now is only slightly worse of what I could be taking in like the starting floors without any code at all. Getting the double recovery DX and maintaining my uncomfortable code from a couple runs back. We can check. I have 17 plus 9 defense. It's really making me kind of shrug off a lot of these fights. Obviously, I still don't want to fully face tank them if I can help them, especially the Cocteau Head. I think the Cocteau Head also knocks me around, which is scary. But a regular, like, Ares or something, I can take a couple hits and not really worry about it too much. God, I thought I was gonna dodge it. Give me an eyeball already. It's gonna suck doing these floors just entirely in darkness. The Ares are not thinking about the viewer experience. God, I like really, my APM does not need to be that high to fight those guys. I tried to say guys and men at the same time, and as I do frequently, I ended up saying a new consonant that's a combination of G and M at the same time. Well, it's crazy, right? You would think the later floor enemies would be faster and more dangerous that way. But Gal is quite slow. I mean, I don't know what the other folk are like up here on floor 18. But if this is the nerve tower's best, I mean, I already said the confidence thing. I don't wanna jinx it, but it's not looking good. Or actually, no, it is looking good. I was gonna say it's not looking good for God, but it's the opposite. Because God probably does want me to go down and do the bar. Absorption. What does that do again? Absorbs HP from all the grotesques in the room. That's a great AoE to have in the pocket. Grounding, probably, if I had to guess, is thunder resistance. I was worried there about being sandwiched between two of these guys, but I kind of baited their teleport and then immediately put myself in a disadvantageous position. I really don't mean to be like dunking on Gal Tank Joe so much, but he feels... Obviously you catch the strays, right? Every now and again, but he's like the least threatening guy I've met ever since the expansion of the tower. I feel like the magician, if handled improperly, is still maybe one of the scarier men here. Nothing. Just an empty room. Oh, he woke up. Don't. No, not now. I've had it up to here. With my view radius being reduced. We should explore the floors. What's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst that could happen is I don't explore the floors and I don't get more story. That to me would be the biggest bummer. But like I said last time, I think we kind of... I mean, like, I haven't encountered anyone new here. I don't know what's up story-wise ahead of us. But in terms of the initial mysteries provided, I think the checklist is kind of more or less complete. I know what the deal is with me, the player character. I know what the deal is with the bar fusion and the great heat wave. I guess the only thing that is maybe up in the air is, why did the Archangel do this? Why did the Archangel choose to make God mad? What was the end goal of all of that? That, I think, is still not quite certain. But I'm sure we will get there. I wonder where he went, now that the tower has more than 13 floors. Did he also get yoinked? I'm kind of avoiding fighting these guys, not necessarily because I am low on resources, but kind of just like don't need to anymore, right? Unless the next guy after Gal Tank Joe the Chariot is like, oh, if you're under level 35, I just insta-kill you. Unless that happens, I'm feeling kinda comfy and cozy here in the Nerf Tower. I don't need an anonymous box. Sorry, not an anonymous box, an unidentified box. We got one of these rooms. Previously seen in the floor where the littles were being tormented / cultivated. That's fucked up. That was a fucked up thing to do. But also, thematically, I gotta say, extracting the pain from God and then concentrating that pain into a living creature and then turning that God's living pain elemental homunculus into a bullet. Well, that's a lot of steps involved in that process, but that's kind of badass attack-wise. I guess the weapon was intended not just to like kill anybody. Here's another sense sphere. What did I even throw in here? Do I throw anything in here? Ah, whatever. Because I have the self brand, and I've branded, I believe, both the explosive and the uncomfortable coats at this point. If I haven't in my last one, you know what? Just to be double sure, just to double check. I guess I haven't branded the uncomfortable. There we go. My coat and my sword will survive. I think it was actually the hope that I branded, because I've definitely gotten 3 selves in this run. So if I die, hey Tank Joe, can you come out here? I don't want to fight you where you're good. Oh, you're turned around. Well, that's perfect. Hey, that's new. Hold on, one situation at a time. Tank Joe, come out. I will handle those things later. Tank Joe, you're really not... I mean, you're kind of playing the situation the way that you should be playing the situation. What if I walk out here? Will you get baited into coming closer? Yes, you will. And that's all I need. You know what? It's getting a little close here. So this, I think, is another grotesque. And this grotesque's name is Johanna Kyon. Ooh, what exploded there? I'm gonna use the rotten genius meat. Oh, that's what exploded. You flew up into space. So this is Johanna Kyom, also known as the High Priestess. Oh boy, confusion kinda sucks. This is hard to explain. It's not the regular video game type of confusion where it inverts your controls or something. That was fully randomized controls. Okay, so Johanna Kyom, kinda bad in fighting, but kinda good in crowd control situations, but also seemingly very neutral, very passive. What if I just throw a worm at you? Oh, and another new guy. That is a guy I probably don't want to be fighting in a corridor. No. At least not without cover. This is Festum, the Hierophant. Hierophant? Not entirely sure. Very cool design. Very different from a lot of the other stuff here. Throws ice at us. How good am I at dodging that? At the distance, it's not so bad. Up close, you seem to have better tracking than Gal Tank Joe. I forget what worm I have, and I said this, right? Oh yeah, it's the paralysis worm. I think honestly, at this point, maybe stomachache is okay. Maybe a stomachache every now and again is not so bad. Wow, you have like a suspiciously short or suspiciously long attack range. Really not sure what to do about that. Can I just get you to leave? I'm kind of trying to explore here. I guess I have other avenues I could be exploring as well, but I kind of want to do that one. Like, your lunge is both fast, strong, and I guess ideally I want to be doing ranged attacks against these guys. But I don't really have ranged attacks. Oh god, I got confused. I'm misplaying. How bad is it gonna be? Okay, you decided to evacuate anyway. So Johanna Kyom, do not engage at close range if at all possible, is what I'm learning. Gal Tank Joe, close range is okay. And then Festum? Festum I don't know about. In long range, I'm good at dodging his projectiles. In close range, he seems to have quite good tracking. Guard. Raises your defense by 2 when it infests you. I forget what worm... I have inside myself. I think it's the sword has the comet worm, which makes me attack faster. The coat has the paralysis worm. I could not tell you what worm I have. But I think I do have one on this run. I think there's a worm inside me. I'm holding a worm close to my heart. You know, if I need it, I'll use it. I love this sewer room. Slurping up all the green goo that made all those orcs evil. Did the orcs in Warcraft become evil because of green goo, or am I thinking of like... I might be thinking of someone else. It's been a while since I thought about Warcraft. Probably since the last time I saw some green goo. Twin can be opened if you have two. I've only... In this run I actually had the twin and I was so close to using the additional box on the twin, but I was like, it can't be that good. It probably has like a twin sword in it. So I didn't open it. Whatever may have been inside, short of like 50 invincibility bones, I feel like doubling the twin DX or the recovery DX was probably the right call. Is this something I can turn off? Oh god. Oh, I didn't see you there, Festum. I guess the animation is long enough. If I'm 1v1ing, the animation is long enough that I can go out of range, dodge it, and then go in and punish. That's cool. I will say, the game, and maybe I just got like God roll after God roll equipment wise, the game isn't that hard, honestly, but I am impressed by how different the enemies feel to fight. All of them have their own rhythms, and all of them, for the most part, have their own, like, patterns of how you should approach them, like the pace at which you should dodge them. It's not a hard game, but it feels engaging and fun to play. You know, like, the combination of a Festum and a Gal Tank Joe means that I have, like, X kind of encounter and, you know, Y kind of strategy. There's something to that. From what I know, the PlayStation version of this game has, like, an optional 99-floor dungeon in it, which I hear is quite hard. I've not seen too many people talk about their attempts of it, but I've heard people say that it's quite hard, and especially if you're trying to start it on like a fresh save file. Oh, I'm messing up all my dodging. If you're trying to start on a fresh save file, you might have a very hard time with the 99-floor dungeon, which sounds cool. It sounds like something I maybe want to attempt at some point. I've been really roguelike pilled recently. This new guy, that guy is called Hananip Temperance, and he some of the grotesque... Oh, there's two of you. Excuse me, how did you show up here? Some of the grotesques in this game have a very, I would say, cohesive design, very coherent design, like a single idea. This guy's kind of a little bit all over the place, isn't he? He's a wheel guy that has symbols coming out of his back. I guess he's kind of like 17. He's kind of like 17 too. But 17 was also one of the more out there designs for me. Just kind of a lot of ideas. 17 Sokonpo, the strange man of Baroque. And of course Hananip, who his card is Temperance, which is also another kind of question mark about the design there, because I'm not entirely sure what's so temperate about this guy, you know? Hold on, what floor am I on? Floor 20. You know, I'm not gonna pretend for the sake of suspense that I don't know how many floors are in this, because I read a difference when I was starting this Let's Play. I was deciding, like, should I play the Saturn or the PlayStation 1 version, and I looked into what the differences are. And one of the differences is the amount of floors, and they tell you exactly how many in the thing I looked up. So I do vaguely know the amount of game that's ahead of us. But yeah, as I was saying, I've been kind of really roguelike build recently. I did a stream of how am I gonna handle this? Probably just use the corner. I did a stream recently of Ironmon Pokemon Black 2, and that was like trying to convert a Pokemon game into a roguelike is a fascinating idea for me, and I've kind of just wanted to play more and more of it. So on a similar tone, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do here. I'm going to make all of these, because there's a lot of guys here. There's 4 guys. I'm going to make them all lethargic. And that's not really going to be enough. So I'm maybe... I don't have food, so I can use a septic. Oh boy. Oh, I'm kinda cooked. No, I'm fine. So because of that, oh, the absorption, you know what? Give me your health. I should have used the absorption above anything, honestly. I've been kind of really roguelike build, and I kind of feel like maybe doing a stream, I don't think it would make for a good YouTube series, but doing a stream where I attempt the 99 floors on PlayStation 1 Baroque might be fun to do. Again, I hear it's very hard on a first start. It would be fun. It would be fun to roll the bones. Alright, floor 21. Let's see what's happening in here. A Hananip and a Johanna Kyon. The Hananip I can kinda circle strafe if it's just by itself. God, I have no idea what that machinery is meant to be. It looks like surgical tools, you know? It looks like something you use to extract like an internal organ, like a forceps. How bad is this here? This is quite bad. I am going to use the walking bone to teleport out of there. Not my problem anymore. I'm just here to fight a Galgal Tank Joe and not worry about the Hananip. So it's really just the Galgal Tank Joe that's kind of an outlier in terms of difficulty. Hananip, Johanna Kyon, and Festum all feel quite challenging for what's going on. It's just Galgal Tank Joe. Evolution obtained. What does this have? Containing fluids for evolution that may explode. I don't want to explode. I really don't want to explode right now. So I'm not gonna pop that open just yet. Getting a lot of sense spheres. It's kind of feeling like it's kind of feeling a little bit like the old floor 13, isn't it? Maybe oh boy. Injection? I don't want to inject myself with something random. I've been picking up some injections recently that are like rusts your sword, rusts your coat, gives you brain damage. I just don't want to mess with an unidentified injection at this point. So yeah, this is looking a lot like the Archangel's previous floors. We got the massive sense spheres. We've got kind of the same tile set. And I guess we got Archangel. Okay, I think this means... Well, I'm probably gonna bond with God now, right? Do I need my sword after that? I'm thinking like, do I throw stuff into sense spheres or do I just say fuck it? I'm sure this won't come back to bite me in the ass. Let's say fuck it. Are you the original? I see. Was it impossible for a clone? It seems you are the only one who can bring an end to this world. Now enter the sense sphere and head to the bottom layer. That's something I was thinking about too, and I'll bring it up later, because right now we have a job to do, but I'm very interested in the clones aspect of this. Let's continue onwards. Can you hear my voice? I'm addressing you through the sense sphere. Now fire the angelic rifle, purify the insane god of creation and preservation. Yes, I was the one who tore you apart. The distorted god of creation and preservation created multiple divinities in order to fill the space left behind by your absence. But there's no point in you reuniting with God. It shall accomplish nothing. It will only result in further distortion. In order to heal this world gone mad, we have no choice but to temporarily end it. Only then may we recreate it with our own hands. Do you understand? Purify the distorted god of creation and preservation. End this distorted world. It seems you understand. Baroques are indelible. Launch the little angelic insect and purify the god of creation and preservation. It wouldn't do that even if I could. Don't go mad. I think we cannot go mad. And that is the end of Baroque. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I was originally wanting to do a whole like fireside chat here, talking in depth about, you know, the ending and things that were really revealed and things that were not revealed, but I do think that the game is all about making your own distorted delusions based on your perceptions of reality, and so I'm going to leave the interpretation of the ending and such matters to you. I will just say that there are things that I did not get on my recording, things I didn't talk about, so if you're curious about that, I highly suggest either playing the game for yourself, reading the manga, which I quite enjoyed and it's not that long, or just visiting the Nerve Tower fan site, which is a fantastic resource for both in-game things and out-of-game interviews and details like that. I think to punctuate the ending of my Let's Play of Baroque, I'm going to do something that might read as incredibly pretentious, but there is a poet that gets quoted twice by this game. One's by Sackthing, one's by maybe God in the ending, but it's Sakutara Hagiwara. After I beat the game, I actually went out and bought a collection of his poems to read. And I will say, if you like the atmosphere of Baroque, you might like his writing. But to end to end our time here, I wanted to read out a little piece of Rotten Clam, which is a poem that gets quoted in the game. I'm not going to read the quoted part, I'm going to read the part right before that one. It's called Daybreak. During the long illness and pain, spiders have covered his face with webs. His body below the waist has faded like a shadow. A bush has grown above his waist. Arms rotten, body all over, truly messed up. Oh, today again the moon is out. The daybreak moon is out, and in the opaque light, like a lantern, a deformed white dog is howling. With eastern clouds near in the lonesome road's direction, howling, a dog you see. And with that, let's close it out. I have been Amos, the Western style guy. You have been a YouTube watcher, and this has been Baroque. Take care, and don't forget, if you hope to survive, hold Baroque inside.